That was quick. Alright, I made it home last night. I couldn't film anything because it was pitch black when he showed up. Supposed to come home yesterday at dawn, but didn't show up until well after dusk. So it's filthy right now, but my shrink wrap isn't going to come down that far, so I can clean it up afterwards. I want to, while it's dry out and there's no wind, I'm going to get this shrink wrapped. So my wife and I came out this morning and stripped the boat of everything inside of it, clothing and everything, fridge, freezer, just everything. That red bag back there has all the canvas rolled up, the top rolled up, and the carpets rolled up. So the boat is now ready to be shrink wrapped. There's a couple things I need to do to get prepared before I get the wrap over, and I'll go through it with you. But I want to go up here and plug you in for a minute because you're low on battery. I'm not going to bore you with tying everything up, but this is kind of what I did. I take a piece of strap because I don't have anything dead center in my boat that I can tie to, so I just took a piece of strap and just tied it from one end to the other. Then I take a long piece, tie it here, and then run it all the way back over the radar arch, and then tie it tight to a grab handle in the back. That's before any of the 2x4s are in. So now this is, it'll be pretty tight when you do that. Then you come up here with your 2x4s, and you line your 2x4, set it up next to this one, set it up next to here, and then just kind of like, with your finger, just pull this up a little bit and just hold the 2x4 where you want it, mark it, and cut it off there. Once you cut it off there, slide it underneath, put a couple staples in it. That'll keep it from going forward and back. We haven't done this yet. Do all 3 boards like that, and then you'll have 3 2x4s, staples in them, and then this will be nice and tight and just kind of have a nice arc to it, and that's kind of the height or the shape that you want. Then I come up here and I do my cross pieces. I tie them behind the stanchion so it can't slide forward, and then tie it in front of this stanchion so it can't slide backwards. Put a couple staples in it and do the same thing for all 3 of these pieces of wood. So now that gives you your good grid web pattern, and all these straps are over the top of everything. So if any snow load is on the cover, it slides off the boat and doesn't get stuck at handrails and stuff. For the cockpit, you gotta use your brain to figure out where to tie things, because you might not have 4 corners to tie it. So luckily I got these hold downs for my my canvas on the corners, and they line up perfectly over the top to the handrail on the side of the radar arch. And now that covers all my my framework for the canvas, so that snow isn't getting stuck on all that stuff. And then it goes over the back. That thing up there, I'm not too worried about it because it is smooth, and I just shrink it and it'll just be a bump up there. Same with my anchor light. As long as it's down, it's fine. But what I'm going to do now is I got to put something over the top of this wood, because when I drag my shrink wrap over the top, it gets caught on these corners and actually puts little tears in it. And then when you go to heat shrink it, those little tears get huge. So you want to protect it. In the past, I've used sponges, just the green on one side, yellow on the other. They fit perfectly on there, and then just hold it down with some shrink wrap tape. But I actually have some scraps of shrink wrap that I cut out squares. I'm just going to put those over the top, and then I'm just going to run some tape, over these edges here, just to hold it down. It'll just be kind of just this big mass of, whatever up on top of here. But that, now when I take my shrink wrap out of my truck and bring it up over the bow and slide it across here, it won't get hung up on these corners. And so let me go get these things on, and then we'll take another look at it from down below, and then we'll start bringing the shrink wrap up. All right, I'm going to do the 3 of them like this. Just got this, wadded up piece of shrink wrap taped over the top, and that's all nice. I might take another piece of tape and just smooth out this stuff. It's not really a big deal because that won't cut, the shrink wrap won't cut the other piece of shrink wrap, but the wood will. So that's there. I'm just going to do the other 2, and then we'll start getting the shrink wrap over the boat. The strapping is all up, and you can see, I think you can see, it sticks up over the top of the rub rail and then over the top of the windshield, and it's just in line with the radar, so it gives me a nice arc over the boat. And after the radar, it's just going to drop off in the back, give me a nice slope in the back. So I'm going to go get a broom to sweep off the leaves and the dirt from my feet off the deck, and then we will start getting the shrink wrap up, back the truck up, shut the tailgate. It's on a roll. Here, I'll show you. I made this little roll carrier a couple of years ago out of some scrap steel laying around. Just made this spool to kind of hold it. So I shut the tailgate and then take this straight up and over and bring it over the top of the boat. So get to that in a minute, but let me go get the broom. And what else do I need? Oh, I need a tape measure too. My back. I swept off the boat and I took some measurements because the roll of shrink wrap that I have is only 26 feet wide. So from the widest part of the boat, which is going to be at the radar arch because it comes out farthest, from the center down to right here, or like right here, is 13 feet. So that means 26 feet is gonna, it's actually, yeah, it's right here because I want my strap to be here. 26 feet is the widest. So from here over to the other side is where the shrink wrap is going to stay. So that means I need to put this strap along the side of the boat here so that I have a place to tuck that little bit in. So I have to remember between these two scuppers here, not scuppers, these are drains. Well, that's exhaust and that's a drain. Anyways, I'm going to run the strap along that area of the boat. So I'm going to go ahead and get that figured out and get that on and show you what I did. So I'll be back in just a minute. I'm going to leave it on the roll and I'll just spool it off. I figure I'll bring you guys along for this struggle because this is the hardest part. I got to get it up and over the bow rail. So what I do is I shut my tailgate here once I'm in the truck, and then I can stand up on it. Stand up on it, get it over the top here. So let's do that. So this is 26 feet wide, and right in the center of the roll is just one layer, and then the rest of the layers are here. So you kind of want to just get that in the center, and then as you pull it, it won't try to walk either way. If you pay attention to it, it won't walk either way. So now that I got that up there, I'm going to get down off the truck and we'll get up on the boat to the bow and start bringing that over. Yeah, it's a lot more help with people to help you out, but the three guys I had helping me last year turned out to be awful people that needed to be fired from the job, so I lost them. And the two guys that I hired, the three guys that I hired, two of them, well, one of them doesn't start until snow plowing, and the other two, I told them I didn't need their help. I was going to go ahead and make this video and do the struggle on my own. So if you have a 37-foot boat and you're 50 years old with a back problem and knee problems and every other bullshit that I deal with every day, I'm going to show you that you can still do it. What the hell's that? Oh, it's a dog. It sounded like coyote at first. All right. I'll hook you up somewhere here. Probably the windshield, right? Yeah, probably the windshield. And once I get this far, slow, a couple feet at a time, bring it up and over, and you'll get it. So. tie a piece of strap around the front of it here to kind of keep it together so it doesn't undo itself on you. Keep it folded up until I get it over the back of the boat. And like I said, you get two guys helping. You get one guy standing here, or kind of where you are, one guy on the bow, and one guy on the truck feeding it. You can really get this over in a fraction of the time. But if you're by yourself, it's heavy, but it's not horribly heavy, and it's slippery, so it glides along pretty good across, you know, those pieces that I put on the wood. So I'm about 2/3 there. Let's get this up. This is really rough when it's windy. I'll tell you it's like rainy, because I've done it in both. But there's watching the weather all morning, and it was 7 miles an hour this morning, dropping to 4 when I started, and supposed to be down to pretty much nothing now. All right, I got enough. Well, I'm going to do one more push here, and then I'll have a bunch in the cockpit that I can go over that way. So let me just get this. I don't think you guys can see anymore. Just drop that there. Another 10 or 12 feet. Going along nicely. And I got plenty in the cockpit to get a little bit further back here. It's all about, you got to make trips a little bit at a time. You'll be tempted, being back here, to get this over and just start pulling. But what happens is it falls in between the nylon ribbing here, and as you're pulling it, it'll actually, you can cut it, it'll get stuck. It's a nightmare. So you just do what I'm doing. You bring as much as you can up here, and now I got a bunch to work with. I'll get it, you know, probably up almost to the radar arch, and then I'll make a trip up there again and just keep bringing it back. So let's go do that. Looks good. I got just a little bit hanging over the top of the boat. Do I even dare try it? I told you not to do it if you get tempted, but I'll show you what happens if you do it. Oh. I don't want to just reap on it because you'll get stuck. But I'm all the way to the seat, so I just need to bring, oh, it looks like about 6 more feet up, maybe 7. Let's go do that, and then that will be enough. might need a little bit more, but I think that's going to be pretty close. Once I cut it off the roll, it doesn't take as much to bring it up and over because it's spooled on that roll. Oh, that's going to be funny. That's going to be funny. I said it's going to be plenty, but I might be a foot short. That's all right. Let's see. No, that's going to be plenty. Yeah. Yep. I have the strap right here. And this is going to be low enough, so that's good. That's where I want it. Now what I got to do is get my fenders and lines out of there. I'm going to go ahead and cut it at the spool. Come here and I'll cut it. Hi, Bub. Cut it at the spool here. See where I kind of want it. I think I want it to hang down right here. I think I'm gonna cut it right there. And then it's easy. You just take a good sharp blade, a little pen knife here, and give it a cut. Drive that through your hand. That's fun. There. That is going to be perfect right there, I think. I know it's too short to fit, right to tucking it under. But once this comes down, big corners are hanging here, and you got plenty of material to work with. Bows are always the most difficult part for me to get lined up. But this looks good. I'm going to get these fenders lines out of here, and then I will unwrap it and just kind of let the ends flop down the sides, and then we'll start tucking it. So let me get that taken care of and I'll get back to you. Let's go. I'll show you how this stuff unfolds. I got it folded over the top, so the bottom of the shrink wrap is here, so it's easy. Well, it's both, but for the last part of this fold, it's going to be at the end. So just kind of bring it over. If you want to go equal on both sides so the shrink wrap doesn't slide off one end of the boat, Buried. It's okay. There. So, because I had that antenna right there, that Garmin antenna, I didn't want to do this from the ground, but now that it's over that, it's not sharp, but over that little lump there we get hung up on, I can get out of the boat. And I got a zipper hatch, a shrink wrap. I got a shrink wrap hatch with a zipper on it, so I can still get on the boat later. But for now, you just want to take the ends here. This is an end here. Let's pull it down. Right. on the other side here, so I don't see how I'm losing this. I don't want to do that. Yeah. Yeah, flopping over. Get this back over here. There we go. And pull this over. Alright. A lot easier on a smaller boat, that is for sure. But we'll get it. And if I did this right, for the widest part of the boat, I want it to hang down, like 4 inches past that strap. Hopefully, it's the same over here. Let's see. Unfold this. Oh yeah, plenty. Yep. Measured right. See? Here's the strap right there. Comes down, there's a strap right there. So it's perfect. I like that. And then of course, because the boat narrows down and the shrink wrap is lower as it passes over the windshield, this up front here is, there's plenty of extra that I gotta cut off. Yeah. So there you go. That is the shrink wrap down. So now what I like to do is I start at the widest point, because when you pull down, see how you get this big pleat like that? You're gonna want that. When you're pulling shrink wrap down, you don't want to like pull this way. You don't want to pull it like towards you. You want it to go right straight down. So if there's a pleat like that, you can weld that shut. So you don't want it all bunched up one area, because then it doesn't shrink right. But you can see I have the cords right here. I think I got a little bit too far over on the other side. It's like that. It's right there. So I got 8 inches there. So here, let me hook you to this tree real quick, and I'll show you what I'm going to do here. Look at that. I got a tree branch for you. Like that. You'll stop shaking when the tree branch stops shaking. So, straight down like this, take the strap, fold it off the side like this. So I'm going to do that to the whole boat, all the way around it. I'm going to get my torch ready, because the only way to hold it is really to weld it, and you weld it with the flame. So let's go get the torch set up. Let's go get the torch set up, and then we'll start welding this on so that it won't move anywhere. And then we're gonna do the whole perimeter. And then see how much extra's right here on this bow? I gotta cut. See? I cut a ton of this off. So that's why, because it's a little bit short here, it doesn't matter, because I'm gonna bring all that stuff in and cut it off, and then it's gonna overlap itself here. So that's not a problem there. And then back here again, we're dealing with that same deal. We got the pleat straight down, this, fold it on itself, straight down, and tuck it in that band. I have it a little bit, there's a little bit stuck up there. Okay, so that's fine, the band's right there. All right, let me go, let's get this thing fired up. What are you, you stuck? Hang on, let me go get my dog unstuck. Okay, I've been asked a lot in previous videos. This is the gun that I use, a shrink fast gun, and it comes in this box. And what you get is the gun with the nozzle on it that's removable. You get your regulator, which goes on the propane tank, and you get, I think this is 25 feet of hose. So the first thing we're gonna do is, of course, hook up the regulator. Remember, this is it's gas, so you left is tight, right is loose. LP gas. It's counterclockwise threads, and I don't put it on with a wrench. You got a brass thing here. It seals up pretty good. I've never had any leaks. Just get it as tight as you can, like that, and then Same thing. Same thing with the hose. Just get that on there. Cinch that up with your hand, pretty good. And then same thing with the gun. You helping, bud? Are you helping? Yeah. Always helping. Alright, now when you turn the gas on, this is a regulator here, and you want to have about a pound, right? No, it's what's inside is PSI. We're gonna have, I think we're gonna have 15 PSI. So you turn the nozzle real slow until you see the needle start going up. Just let it do its thing. So yeah, right at one bar. So 15 PSI, 14 PSI. All right, once it hits that, then you can turn this all the way on. If you try to click it on real quick, it'll trigger the check valve in there, and it'll stop. So then this thing is your igniter. You need to have this part pushed with the back of your hand, where my thumb is, and then click this. If you click it halfway, gas comes out. Click it halfway, and then it ignites. Inside there is a little tiny spark plug, and that's how you ignite it. So now I just need a glove. I use one glove. I use this one. Go ahead and weld these two sides. So this is a little bit time consuming. You don't just start on one side of the boat and just run right down it. You kind of gotta go cross from it a couple times till you get where you want it, and then we'll weld it. So let me here get this ladder here. My back is too, so let's go here. Let's go right there. So what I do is take this here on a strap, tuck it underneath it with the fold, like that. Nice and neat, like that. Put your glove on. A little heat. Stick it to itself. Okay. So now what that did is I got the shrink wrap, and it's curled, or it's tucked underneath this strap, and then welded onto itself. So now this strap is like, it's right here at the bottom here. That's hot. So I'm gonna go on the other side, pull that down, and weld that area up. Let me just do a little bit more here because I don't like the way it feels right there. But it's super. You just got to be careful with the heat. If you don't, you'll burn through it. And if you do burn through it, it's not the end of the world. Ways to repair it, and I'll show you that because I'm sure we'll have a hole or two. It's inevitable. Just want to do that. Up there. I don't know why this strap is so loose. I had a banjo tight a minute ago. Let's go over here. That's like that. You can see the banding right here. See that? So that banding is there, and the shrink wrap is welded to itself. Welded real good. So now what I'm going to do is go on the other side and repeat the process, and then I'll do like another one up here. You know, kind of take. I know there's like usually a kind of a fold in here. I'll pull that down and do that, and then we'll just do a couple spots along the boat just to get it nice and snug, and then I'll go around and just weld the perimeter all the way around, and then we'll take it from there. So let me go do the other side. I won't film that because I'm actually got to go plug you in again. So let me do that, and I'll get back in just a couple minutes. I got the other side across from here welded up pretty good. Now it's time to, and I did a couple little, fall off the ladder, hang on. And I did a couple points along the way, so we'll go ahead and fly and get this side welded up to the bow, and we'll go to the next step. There. Now, because I gotta cut a bunch off the bow, so we'll go ahead and show you how that's done. Can be a little bit of a pain in the butt sometimes, but we'll get through it. I want to have, see, the strap is right here, okay? And that's, you know, a little bit over a foot. I don't like to get any more than like a foot, because then you get it all bunched up in there, and that's going to be way more. So what I do is I just kind of tuck it until it gets to the point where it's too much. Probably right there is good. And then you guys can watch this from outside, but I go inside and I hold the shrink wrap up to. Remember, you want to pull straight down. You don't want to bunch it either way. Just pull straight down. Like that. Grab my blade. I'm going to cut it off here. Now, I have enough. I'm going to continue it on, but now I have it. You know, nice and tidy. So get this all tucked in. Because it's so slippery, I can take my fingers and roll it, and as you roll it, it kind of slides up the inside here. So I'm not rolling it over on itself. It's kind of just folding up and then sliding up in there. And just getting it as tight as you can. It's going to shrink like crazy. I'm going to put heat to it. But I just like to have it kind of as much as you can, you know. And then I'll just continue to cut this corner of this bow piece off. And we're good. isn't too big, you can spread it out a little bit and kind of make it, you know, both ways. And what that does, now all this will shrink up, and I won't have any folds. But yeah, so let's get this welded here. Start cleaning up our scraps and get ready to, you know, do the whole shrink wrapping. That should be good there. Should be good there. So now you can see what I'm talking about, how much extra there is at the bow. So I bring this down, I'm going to cut it off like this and then kind of fold the starboard side over, you know, tuck the port side in underneath the starboard side and then pull the starboard side over it and just weld it to the front here. But just as long as I got it all the way up here and all the way down both sides of the boat, now what I want to do is go to the back here, stern of the boat, and then we're going to continue on. We got a big pleat here that we got to deal with. It's not horrible, but we got one. And then we got to pull this down and tuck it underneath. So let's get to that, and I'll show you the end product there. There are different ways you can do this. This is just the way I do it to try to get rid of most of the waste. Kind of cutting off, you know, all that shrink wrap that's hanging down. I take this one here and I just kind of tuck it around the strap that I have going from the anchor down to the bow here. So I'm going to go ahead and just weld that real quick. Show you that. Just to kind of lock it in place. That's there, and now I have this extra stuff here. I'm just going to bring around like this. So you got to be quick with it. Don't pull too hard, because as soon as you hit with heat, it's just going to stretch and rip. You just kind of get the heat going on. And then when I'm all done, with it, shrink wrapping the whole boat. I'll go around with shrink wrap tape, this stuff here, and I'll just run a strip of tape along here, and that way, if that seam decides to try to stretch, it won't. So that looks pretty good. And then, you know, I got my anchor here, you know, so you really just kind of gotta fold material in on top of itself like that. Kind of tuck that all in there, and then again I'll just glue this up here and pull in the loose bits. You'll see how it kind of comes together at the end. That's it, you know. Now I have the I have the perimeter of the boat welded all the way around the transom. You see, this is it actually pulled up a little bit, and I'll show you what we're gonna do to hold this down, because see, I got it going all the way along the transom here. So if I were to just go ahead and start applying heat to this, it'd all suck up, and it would just start pulling this stuff up the side of the boat. And you obviously don't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put on belly straps. And a belly strap is, well, I'll show you. We're just going to go and make a couple little slits above the strap and run the cord. So let's do one of those. I'm gonna go the block that's holding my boat down. We're going to go right in front of that. So like right here somewhere. I'm just going to find the strap. The band is right here, so I'm just going to make a little slit above it. Just a little one, right? Then you take the banding through that hole, tie that off. Now you see how that's kind of, you know, ripping. It will for a little bit. It'll probably rip out to there. But what I do is, once I get this under the boat and tied to the other side nice and tight, I come back with a piece of shrink wrap tape and tape this, you know, put it along here, put a slice in it, and then fold the tails up, and just, you know, that'll stop that from tearing more, and do that to all of them. But let's just go to the other side and I'll show you how we do the first one, and then I'll just go ahead and tie myself up on this crap and get the rest of them. Alright, so I said it was like right in front of that, right there. So I come up here, make a cut right there. Right here. I don't have anything to put you on. Like that. I will take the end here, give myself a couple 6/8 inches. Don't start bitching about not having a tripod, alright? I'm doing the best I can with what I got. So if you want to see this video, take it for the content. Don't take it for the way it's filmed, alright? Nothing I can do about that right now. So pull that nice and snug like that. Tie that up. Like that. Okay, so now I have these ones. Okay, I'm gonna do one there. I'm gonna do one right here in front of that one, and then I'm gonna do one probably right in front of my running gear, right there. Maybe I'll come down a little bit further. Maybe I'll come right to the strake, do it there. So I'm gonna do 3 of them. I'm gonna go plug you in again. I'm only plugging you in for like 5 minutes at a time, so I don't get a lot of battery charge. But I'm gonna go put the rest of those straps on, and then I will tape it off and show you what that looks like, and then we'll start shrink wrapping. And here's what I'm talking about with the tape. Just take a piece and tear it about halfway down. Here. Take these tails, pull under, stick it to itself, stick to the backside, and then there you go. That won't tear anymore. So I just got to do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more times, and then we'll start shrink wrapping. I won't bore you with the tape. Get back to you in a minute. I got those belly straps all taped off. Good to go. So now we're going to start shrink wrapping, tightening this up. Doesn't matter where you start, bow or stern. I'm going to start at the bow here just because of where you guys are. Take a look at it. I put my tank about halfway down the boat so that I have enough to go from one end to the other without moving the tank. So let's go down here, and this, for the first pass, I like to go as high as I can reach, and then for the next pass I'll grab the wand and then go a little bit higher, and then for the third pass I'll grab my, you'd either go up on a ladder and do it, Or I like to stand up on the roof of my Bobcat because it's like the perfect height, and it's 4x4 roof, and it's, you know, super stable, and a little platform you walk around on it. But let's just go ahead and start from the bow and just work our way back, and you'll see how this stuff shrinks up. Okay, see that part that I was pointing to right there? So if you have the heat on it a little bit too long, you'll start to burn through. See how that's just starting to poke through. So what I do after the whole boat's shrink wrapped and stuff, those will probably open up a little bit, and I just take a piece of shrink wrap tape and put it over there, so it's not a big deal. And then again, these seams right here, I like to run a strip on those seams just to kind of hold them together. But now I'm gonna go and do the other side of the boat same way I did this. And then and believe me, you see these wrinkles, okay? Don't chase the wrinkle. If you chase it, I know it sounds funny, but don't chase the wrinkle. If you start chasing that wrinkle, you're gonna go back over the stuff that you already shrink wrapped, and you're gonna burn through. So the first pass, you're bound to get these kind of wrinkles like this. But then as I go along and do this top part with the wand extension, those will start to tighten up a little bit. And then when I get on the very top and start doing that, everything tightens up. So you'll get wrinkles like this. It's not really wrinkles, just a couple little waves, but it doesn't do anything to it. You're not going to get a drum tight fitment on your first pass. It's just not going to happen. So it's going along really good though. So I'm going to go ahead and zap the other side up real quick, throw you guys back on the charger again, and then I'll come back and we'll get the wand and we'll do from the rub rail down all the way back. I got the everything that I could reach all the way around the boat. It's nice and tight, and you can even see some of these wrinkles tighten up a little bit. But oh, I meant to say the next part is from the handrail down, not rub rail. We did from the rub rail down that I could reach. So now I have this long extension here, and I call it the didgeridoo, because listen. It makes it sound like a didgeridoo. So I'm gonna go ahead and we'll just we'll get this side racked out with this extension. So that's coming out very, very nicely. So as you can see, as I was bringing it, the heat down, it would start wrinkling below the rub rail because, it's getting heat on it and it's actually loosening it. But as it cools down, it tightens up again. So shrink wrap works. When you hit it with heat, it shrinks, and then when it cools down, it pulls even tighter and then stiffens up. Because when you first shrink wrap it, you could just put your hand right in it and it'll just be all mushy. But now, as that starts to cool, it'll really start to tighten up. And if you listen real close, you can kind of hear it creaking as it's tightening up on itself. So it works pretty well. So let's just rock out the rest of what I can reach on this side, and then I'll do the other side off camera. couldn't be any happier with the way that's turning out. It's tightening right up. I'm only having to run the pleats from where I reached with my hands down, and they get so thin that I can just go ahead and shrink it, and it, you know, undid the pleat and shrunk it right up. So it's going on very, very nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the transom, or the transom of the boat, and then I will do the other side off camera, and I'll get back to you for the third step. That looks fantastic. I think I got that one little hole back there, and then I think I got another little tiny one over here, but it's not even anything. I don't even know if I need tape on it, to be honest with you. Yeah, right here. That's it. Came out fantastic, nice and tight, and I'm not even on the third step yet. So this is very, very good. These pleats, I'm going to start the tape from there, and from there to there. So we're good there. This came across good. I just got to get up on the swim platform and do the rest of that. And then, like I said, another strip of tape here, and that's it. Ooh, looks like I got a hole right there. I got to put a piece of tape on that. But yeah, it looks good. So that's all the scrap I got left. 2 little triangles from the bow, and then well, I took it off of one piece, and then 2 triangles in the back where that extra stuff was. So now I'm going to move my truck, go get my Bobcat, see if my wife can come out here and run the Bobcat for me. I just keep it in low idle and just have her just creep along at, like, you know, snail's pace, keeping me about, you know, 3 or 4 feet away from the boat, and then just shrink wrap the top. So then move the truck and I'll get that going. Well, we're heading out to dinner tonight, so my wife can't help me. She's getting ready, so I'm gonna do this by myself. I'll set you guys up here. Oh, I gotta do this. Like this. Yeah. Set you guys up here. I think I'll do. I can't get you up high enough. This is as high as the ladder goes, but I don't know. You'll get the gist. I'll get the machine over here, get on the roof, and start filming. Let's watch this disaster unfold. there. I'm gonna try to clip you guys on the end of the wand. It might be too shaky, but we'll do one shot like that and see if it works. Let me get you set up. I don't know if that's gonna work or not with my hands in the way, but do a little bit, see what it looks like. Put a hole in it. It's okay, I'll show you what I'm gonna do there. Another hole. You know what those are? Those are little nicks. When I brought the canvas over the plastic over the boat, those are little nicks. They grow. Luckily, I have a door, a zip-up door that I put on this, so I can still get on the boat. So I can go on the boat and I can tape those from the inside. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 little holes all in a line. So that was where the shrink wrap, that was where the shrink wrap was folded in one of the folds, and it got a nick on the end of it, just a little pinhole. So when you hit it with heat, it grows. So I'm just gonna go put a zipper in the back of the boat. I'll get on there and then just put a piece of tape on each one of those on the inside, and that'll be fine. So now I gotta go to the other side of the boat. I already did this with the ladder. I'm gonna go to the other side of the boat and do the same thing I did here, and then we'll be done. Almost. All right, well, that's it. Nice and tight. Snow just slide right off this. So it looks good. I just got the dinner bell call. I gotta go in and clean up, so I can't put vents in, but I'm gonna put a vent in here, and then on the other side from it, and then one down there, and then the other side. All I really do is take a piece of shrink wrap, cut a triangle, and I'll tape one half of the triangle to the boat, and then I'll kind of cinch it up a little bit and tape the other half so it's kind of, you know, kind of away from the boat, and then it's taped like this. And then I'll reach my penknife up inside underneath the flap and just cut out a little flap, cut it off. So that way snow can still fall over the top of it like that, and then air can get up underneath and get in, circulate in the boat. So I'm just gonna do that. I'll probably show you one, not on this video, because I got my buddy Brian's boats coming in. We're gonna shrink wrap that. When I do that, if I think about it, I'll do another, I'll make one for you. But it's pretty straightforward. But that's it. Looks fantastic. I got to put the door on the back tomorrow, go tape up those 4 little holes, and we're good to go. So until the next one, please comment, rate, subscribe, and have a great day.